pressure there. So S4 still hasn't picked up a point in return, and it's really paying off, actually. The extra hoof stomp stun duration, the extra damage from that is making the difference. And even Glimpse looks so powerful with a Centaur on your team like that if he's got enough time to get the cooldown off again. He doesn't even need a blink dagger. That's what it feels like right now, but he's still making the initiations happen just by being tanky.
It looks like they're going to be able to create a lot of space for both Anna right now. He could use a little bit of space to farm up his first up, which he's currently got queued up. Blink dagger. Uses extra time to complete that.
Pressure on the safe. You don't have to dive the tower. You can just get the right hook off and guarantee a carry kill.
We're seeing, as a reaction, Black is going to be picking up Lincoln Sphere.
It's a good choice.
You can kind of be able to deal with the Glimpse, right?
I'm thinking of Pudge Dismember as well.
Yeah.
If he does get hooked, at least he guarantees to get the waveform off.
But it does mean no BKB is going to be picked up by the Mulling anytime soon, so he's still going to be very susceptible to the Kinetic Field Static Storm.
Yeah.
And that'll be the other really big team fight ability that OG can play off of, especially since they have the Naga Siren Sleep to set it all up.
Yeah, that's a really good point, actually. You get a little too close to one another, they're going to get that AoE team fight off, and that's something they were using very well at DAC. It's just Naga into Black Hole. Static Storm is, in some ways, very similar.
They are really maintaining this kind of split from Faceless once again. Seems like they have this idea that, they're going to be able to reveal that Blink Dagger from Anna. He still has that double damage too, so Japs gets blown up pretty quickly. They do have managed to get Jarex at least, but it's going to be a twofer.
I really like what S4 did there. He instantly gets his Blink Dagger TPs in the mid lane. He didn't go in on the Ogre, the guy that was going to die. He waited either almost caught Black. If Black moved in inch closer, stayed half a second longer, that could have been a follow-up kill with a Static Storm. That would have been a huge play there for OG. Either way, still getting 2 kills is really good for them right now.
Yeah, rapid presence of OG into the mid lane not only catches kill, but also takes that mid tower. And Anna running around like some girl out of an anime. Head towards bottom lane. Ice is going to be in some trouble here. Anna.
Oh, he gets
there. It is the hook. The spike carapace buys a little bit of time. Doesn't have the stun quite yet, and does have the turnaround potentially. Nuts. He needs to be able to stop Anna, but he doesn't have the mana to do so. Nuts now hides himself in the trees, hoping to be able to get out. And Still not quite catching Anna. That means nothing's going to be found inside the trees and should be a simple pop. Anna blinking forward, immediately wanted to take that safe lane tower.
And Jerks just wanted to help him get to the tower a little faster there. Worked out pretty nice.
And this has gone from Anna suffering in his timing to getting that early blink dagger to now have the blink and closing in on Desert pretty fast.
He's got 8 kills. Is that true? Am I clicked on the right hero? That's 8 kills. Is that really happening? Yeah, that's confirmed. 8 Templar Assassin kills at the 15-minute mark.
That's kind of insane. And that's a lot of it due to OG's setting him up. Like, he had a bad laning phase. There's not so much that TA can do by himself. OG's rotation has been very on point. Jerks in particular has just created a monster of an early game for OG.
I think maybe this is part of what OG is doing here in their draft. Let Faceless get the same kind of supports. Ones that are very good at lane pressure, good at ganking, but then all they have to do is pick really tanky cores, hard to kill cores, and all of a sudden the Ogre and the CM feel really mediocre. Like,
Look at him. He's actually on the crest up there. On the Centaur.
Okay. He does need... OD kind of bad against him since he gets the evasion part up, but same principle. Bloodlust makes you right click faster, grab armor. It's kind of the same thing, counters the attack speed a bit.
And we can throw shots on that as well. TA on that team already, it's pretty easy for them to do it. Get a medallion.
Ice looking for a possible kill on S4, but he gets out no problem. Yeah, they're just controlling the map so well right now. They'd love to take the last tier 1 tower top, and they've got a ward for it. They're just looking for Faceless heroes. They get a kill, they'll try to take a tower right after.
All this aggressive vision in the left-hand side of the map. Jungle, but if they do that, it means OG are free to take road shot, especially with that fresh Deso on Anna.
Really good timing there. And it's going to be really tough for Faceless to take a fight into this. If things go a little bit iffy, they cast on. If it gets really bad, cast Stampede and Initiate. Almost no matter what they do to initiate, it's going to be good. Jack spots him out.
He's going to be able to clip jabs there. He's going to be forced to imprison himself, but S4 managed to hold on to his stun. They're going to be able to get him. Oh, so much damage coming out from Anna right now. He's still holding on to a double damage rune. What is that hype fade? I feel like I've seen him for the last 4 minutes having DDs.
That's all he's got, I guess. DDs every day. Holds him for the right time and helps him take Roach faster. I also love that Jarek's looking for the next move. A lot of really good supports will do this. Oh, we have this Roach. There's no way to defend this. I'm going to look for the next kill. So he moves a little bit far out and instantly gets a spot that allows S4 to force out the defensive Astral. Really nice move that helps set even more tempo here. So Black is desperately trying to get his first item. Still doesn't have the ultimate or part of the Lincolns. And that just looks so bad for Faceless right now. So a Morphling playing from that far behind doesn't seem like it's going to be very useful. He's like 1,200 gold behind Centaur, for God's sake.
Boy, I'm looking at this Nyx assassin and thinking, like, this is not the same kind of offlaner. Last game we had this Batman, right? Who kind of sits in lane, always pressures the enemy carry. This time around, aggressive ganking offlaner that hasn't managed to pick up too many kills. Got hand of mine, so he'll at least still stay somewhat relevant. Mid. XY drops kind of low. Not able to pursue. Thinking about it, he's got to position himself for the blink if he wants to. He's actually going to go for nuts on the high ground. Has an Aegis to work with, so he's playing pretty fearlessly at this point.
Yeah, he is. So it's kind of a reverse of what we saw last game. Ice plays Abaddon, sits in the lane, gets some stuff done. As for this game, very hard to kill, sits in the lane, gets stuff done. And then it swaps around the other way. Nyx Assassin's got to move around the map, get kills, but he can't really stay in the lane forever because he has to worry about things like Pudge and TA and other setup heroes. So Faceless is forced to go on the aggressive, and they had a bit of a weaker lane start, which means that Morphling can't even get that active early. He's got to force himself to get farm and catch up a little bit. So I feel like OG has a huge drafting advantage here. Not to mention the fact that Radiant is ready to go. 20 minutes in, now they got to deal with that. They will have Replicate at least, so they're going to be able to steal some illusions and radiances of their own, but the pressure begins. The towers are very likely to take a lot of damage soon.
Black may be the victim of an OG rotation soon if he's not careful. I have a feeling like OG with this Radiance, they'd love to actually start forcing some real team fights. Ice. He's sitting, waiting, lurking, hoping. Here, flight's on vibe, but maybe he can still catch it. Oh, no.
It's just a little too fast to His ulti runs out. They saw him there, so I doubt the Courier will get sniped on the way back. I don't know if they care though. They do kill a replicate as well. That's huge. That's gonna ensure that Templar Assassin's refraction doesn't get broken.
And they're also going to be farming up the enemy jungle as well. You can see the Naga Siren already spreading out those illusions. So if Black wants to be able to farm, he has to like go into the enemy jungle or show himself deep up there in the top lane. If he does that, then OG feel very comfortable taking objectives. Nice snag there on the jabs. Jerix just solo killed an OD, it looks like. And let's barely. The rod snags him just at the tail end there from that 4-stab.
That's some powerful funk, man. You're in a different dimension, but the smell still goes through. Guarantees the kill.
You can't get away.
Yeah, it sticks on you, you know? It goes with you. It's like, again, one elevator that somebody smoked in, it's with you the whole day. Same thing.
Ice. Really wants to find this Naga Siren pickoff, but he's going to be found instead. Stunned up, takes a majority of the damage. The Static Storm making sure there's no opportunity for a Spike Carapace and No Tail. Sorry, actually, Fly was the one who picked up that kill. I thought No Tail snagged it, but looks like the Static Storm was just a bit too much. Maybe Anna can actually grab a little bit more here. 2 down on the side of Faceless. He knows he finds anybody. Pretty much guaranteed dead, fortunately. Nothing did manage to TP out. Looks like they have some very defensive vision on the left-hand side. They had a ward counter and ward combination that saw Anna.
Definitely a very good place to have it, since this is like the key area for Pudge to stand. He can poke mid lane, he can poke top lane. He'll be moving there often. But the key to the team fights in the ganks is basically just Nyx Assassin. If they kill him, who's going to set up the fights? It's not going to be CM, it's not going to be Ogre. They don't have a reliable initiation. And XY might get 3-shot here, although Anna's got to be careful.
Anna being held in place. They do have the hook, but he's actually going to throw it out onto jabs, knowing that Anna has the Aegis. They really want to fight this one out, but Nuts does manage to finish off that Aegis with his freezing field. The Blink Dagger is going to be up for Anna, but he actually hit him with the waveform. Oh, he doesn't manage to blink himself away. What a huge stun, though. The Centaur controls of the fight. Now they get their turnaround. They're going to be able to blow up the Morphling as he's rooted in, gets him with the ensnare. Turnaround from Ice. Managed to catch the Centaur, but there is the extra hold. No Tail's making sure that nobody from Faceless escapes alive.
And they all go down there. Triple kill for Anna for you compendium predictors, and huge team fight there. S4 absolutely changed the scope of that team fight. It looked really good for Faces, catching Anna, preventing his blink after he respawned. But when you stun 3 heroes, the whole fight's, that's over. That's a ravage right there. And you only have to wait 13 seconds for the next one.
Especially when Anna is already hitting so hard, you give him just enough to disable. He starts throwing out those side blade hits.
Gonna see the replay once again there. Great hook as well on the OD. Banishes himself at the perfect timing and is forced to try to kill the CM. And here comes the big moment. The waveform to guarantee disable the blink. Really well done by Black, but that stun gives OG enough time to catch up.
Jerix again locking down yet another core. This support Pudge has just been out of control, and it makes me wonder where did this hero go? You know, it was such the rage not so long ago, and then it just kind of fell off for favor of Monkey King and Earth Spirit and all these other 4 positions.
I think it was picked sometimes in the Crusade, but it's not half the time it was. It just didn't look very good. It's definitely a sometimes pick from the support position. And maybe the excitement around Monkey King, that kind of stuff has fallen off, and OG knows, like, hey, we kind of got wrecked game 1. Maybe we need to focus on just really safe drafts that make a lot of sense. And in this game, I think the Pudge has been really solid, especially with the gank heroes that Faceless has been running. The Nyx Assassin was an early pick. His damage is a bit limited, and because if you survive the burst, you're going to win the fight, and Pudge is great for that.
Ice. Once again. Himself deep into the enemy jungle, kind of scouting things out, doesn't find anybody, so he'll farm a camp while OG take that tier 2 bottom. They Faceless know they can't really contest OG at this point. The team fight's just far too strong, so they're just looking for picks, but OG really isn't giving any of them to him. The only person who's really separated was No Tail, but you can see he's playing off of his towers almost the entire time and just letting his illusions do all the work.
Yeah, that's the way to play it. The only downside to that is it usually delays your Song of the Siren maxing out, but he's completely set in his position right now. And another big item picked up, and it's going to grab an Orchid. That's one of the best counters against Morphling in the game. Very effective against OD as well. He's got BKB queued up, but he's pretty much just starting it.
He's got a couple heroes here. OG spending some time farming together, farming their way through the jungle as they head up top, maybe to stop that tier 1 tower from going down in the process. They're going to run into XY. That'll be a freebie. Beyond godlike already for Anna at 25 minutes into the game.
That's actually insane. Any hero that he finds right now, I mean, if he finds Morphling by himself, there's a Lincoln to stop it. But any other hero, gonna get a kill this game, I think. Maybe not Nyx. That one would be a little harder. But. And in the meantime, Nyx Assassin just spending some time hitting up neutrals. He's gonna be looking for a courier snipe here. He actually might get this one.
Oh no, position yourself farther right. No. Ice, like, damn it all.
Yep.
It just keeps on sneaking by him every time.
If he had been there like 4 seconds earlier to get to the high ground before the courier was in vision, that would have been a snipe. But he's gonna hopefully wait for it to come right back out. I don't see any items on instantly, so slightly wrong timing.
Manta, soon to be complete for No Tail. I have to wonder, like, once you get that much split pushing power, Faceless, I mean, they still do have the late game, right? Like, the early game has gone terrible, but they still have OD and Morphling to be able to fall back
They're
on.
going to try to kill Ana here, or somebody else. They're spotting, they're smoked up, but
Dire structures are fortified.
didn't end up following No Tail. Maybe not feeling confident about that kill, but wasting smoke there for Faceless. That could be a little expensive as the game continues. When you're losing, gang, the best way to get back in the game, and losing smokes for nothing is not the best trade. But at least OD's farming very well. He's ahead of Centaur. That's good.
I was about to say, well, is a relative term, right? Nuts. Fortunately, he picked up a haste streak, so will manage to slide on by.
I really like what Centaur is doing with his build this game. That's for making the right decisions. The Solar Crest Vanguard, he grabs the magic resistance per 10%. It's not a huge amount, but it's enough. And then he's going to go straight into a heart. He knows that his opponents have damage problems. So Morphling's just going to buy Lincoln's going to go E-Blade, but Centaur's just going to have so much stinking HP. I don't even think it matters. It's a counter against pure damage from Outworld Devour. It's a great solution against burst damage as well from Magic Nuke. So I think S4's build is he's ahead of schedule and he's building the perfect things.
Hey, third time's the charm. Bryce, he finally does find that courier kill. The problem is, for me anyway, it's like you're using your 3 position to kill couriers. Right? It's not what you wanted to be doing with this Nyx Assassin, but because the first 20 minutes of the game went so poorly, it's what you've been forced to do.
They're grouped pretty heavily right now. Fearing a smoke right now, I believe. OD will show mid, hitting creeps, so maybe they'll move out again. But and Ogre's still split pushing top. This is a little dangerous for him, but the benefit is that if he does end up getting killed here, it's only an Ogre. This is pretty fast with both us Tranquil Boots.
Yeah, somebody's got to push up these lanes, right? Yep. The Morphling, they like, even the Morphling doesn't feel super comfortable with it because he could be caught by the Blink Centaur stun, could be caught by the Glimmer Cape of the Disruptor. Fly just, walking in biz and managing to get the Static Storm Kinetic Field combination. So it's not like they can actually rely on the Morphling to push deep into the enemy side of things and threaten tier 2. So XY is a more disposable hero will try and accomplish the same thing.
They are going to clean up Roshan really rapidly though. That's in addition to the Solar Crest here, so dies right away. And in case OG didn't feel confident enough in team fights, it's going to be even easier for TA. He is still a little vulnerable. That's always the thing you got to worry about when playing this hero, but now with 2 respawns, it's going to be pretty safe, especially if he saves BKB until after the respawn.
It's got to be feeling so terrible for Faceless because they can't beat OG in split pushing. There's a Naga Siren, and they can't beat him in team fight. Like, as long as OG don't lose in the pickoff game, then they should just be able to build more and more of an advantage. They've already taken almost every single outer tower. All that's left is the top tier 2. And with this Aegis, I'm pretty sure they're going to try and at least poke at high ground and see how Faceless respond.
Yeah, this is definitely their moment here. Get the lanes pushed out. They may need 1 hero to guarantee top lane. Get it's pressured. No Tail going to send his illusions across the map. And that's when. But XY's been doing a pretty good job pushing that lane out. Jab's doing it in the meantime. They catch Black on the mid lane. They could song for this maybe. They're just going to
jump forward with Ana. Nice stun. A 3-man goes out from Ice, but he still managed to snag him with the ensnare. Jarex is lined up for a perfect hook. The Dismember allows Ana to be able to clean up that kill. A carry down for 40 seconds. What better time to go high ground and see if they can force a buyback?
And they still got level 3 song in the siren. The hook. Oh, that would have been huge. He's got Gem on Jarex, so if he did grab that Nyx kill, that would have been one of the easier ways to clean up the mid lane.
Oh, jump forward here, going for nuts deep inside the base, but he is going to be stunned up by X. Ana will turn its attention towards that tier 3.
He's hoping
and
for
start
one
chipping
shot.
away at it.
They got the melt strike, that's definitely a dead CM. They go
Oh,
in.
nice stun from S4. Managed to catch Jabs. Blows him up immediately. Good coordination between the two cores of OG. Ice pops the Shrine in order to stay alive against Anna. Now he turns his attention towards XY, but realizes with the buyback, he doesn't really need to stick around. Backs away. Resets the whole entire fight for OG to start sieging the base once again.
In the building, does get stunned. Mana drain is pretty bad for him, but
He's not going to have any refraction to work off of, but the sleep comes out just in time. They save the Aegis, and that's a big-time win for OG. They still have plenty of time to work with this Aegis, so if they go, they back up the base, or they just Shrine, they can probably push high ground again in the next minute or two.
really good choice by them to back up there. They did their best fishing attempts. They did get the OD kill and buyback. That's absolutely worth it. 3-6-0 now on Jabs, having a rough game, and it's just the typical problem with OD. He does do a lot of damage, but if you have to worry about disables, magic damage, you gotta get BKB, and then you only have 12 armor. And against somebody that can lower 8 armor from the meld and 7 from the Deso, you have this big target on your forehead. Please, stun me once, so I don't BKB, and then hit me 2 times and I die.
So it looks like his solution is kind of the obvious one. Go for the Shivas. Increase intelligence as well as armor, but there's got to be some other options, right? Where are the support items? Where are the helpful items that can save this OD? We've got a Solar Crest for the Ogre, but Nuts, he would be the other one to pick it up. He doesn't have anywhere close to that 4-stack.
Yeah, he's been having a tough game as well. I mean, it's been a lot.
This is a good way to be able to stop the potential initiation from the Nyx with that Flint Dagger, and gives Anna a lot more freedom. Whack on that tier 3, so that's going to be tier 3 down. OG are not going to back up and hit Shrines. They still want to be able to work around with his Aegis. Melee racks down to half health and falling rapidly. Faceless are not going to fight this one. They're letting the Morphling push out the top lane, and honestly, I think that's the best choice. They couldn't actually fight that. I could not see a way they could actually win a team fight, a 5-on-5 against OG, even if it was inside their own base.
You know, maybe the best thing they could do is initiate stun both Pudge and the TA with the same disable, but they've got to kill the TA twice, not to mention the rest of the heroes. And Center was even holding his Solar Crest. He doesn't leave him a vulnerability, keeps his armor and his evasion up. They had a pipe active and ready to go for Pudge if needed, so they just had so many ways to cover each other. And Faceless is still having that same damage problem. It's almost all about the E-Blade Dagon, and the E-Blade Adaptive Strike, and against a TA with Aegis, it's just not the most reliable damage.
Ice. Is he going to find a solo kill?
I don't know if he can kill him.
It's been so long since he's seen an opportunity to do Nyx assassin things, but it's looking like the damage is lacking, and we do have a Glimmer Cape. He's going to Yule Scepter, has another mana burn. Oh, gets him. Fly held onto that Glimmer Cape for so long.
He had to, because if he uses it instantly, Yule's is used on him, and it dispels it, which would guarantee the kill. So it was actually smart of him to hold that as long as he did, but unfortunately for him, does get killed. Pretty much the only way that works. The Glimmer did give him enough magic resistance to not die in one burst. And a 30-second respawn time. Disruptor's alive already.
Yeah. Disruptor is also, we saw him earlier, he actually killed the Morphling Replicant, right? Just like they had the Shadow Shaman last time, right? Yeah, so they grabbed an August Iron, they're like, oh sweet, we can push out the top lane with this Radiance Illusion. Nope. Just he instantly gets deleted by Fly.
Alright, No Tails picked up a Diesel Blade as well, making his illusions actually pretty good at right-clicking. And obviously breaking any kind of Ghost Scepter. Nyx always... No, he was on Yule the whole time. I think it was the Morphling I'm thinking of with the Ghost Scepter. It's a great way to deal with Morphling. Draining his mana, there's a lot of really good uses for the item in this game. They'll remove Bloodlust. It's a great pickup by No Tail.
Yeah. Great choice. Gives them a considerable peak at this mid-game point where OG are looking to be able to just close it out. Oh, the hook. Almost snagging.
He's spinning in, but doesn't quite go far enough.
OG. Now it just comes to the problem of like, okay, we just have to deal with this split push enough where we're finally able to go high ground. It looks like they finally did. They corralled all those heroes out of the top lane, got the creep wave going, put that tier 2.
There's illusions all over the map. Like, they're in their base. It's going to be the story of the game for the next 10 or so minutes, most likely. With Aegis running up, I don't know if OG's going to want to chance this. They're already down one game. They do not want to throw this kind of a lead. It would be amazingly bad for them. But I don't know if Faceless has the best team fight. It's going to take a lot of very careful focus fire, tank stuns, and burst damage for them to win these fights.
OG gonna start out just poking at it. They're gonna push in both the mid lane as well as the top lane at the same time. See where they can find some connections onto that tier 3, or potentially even loosen up one of these heroes with Naga Siren, or find the hook. That's gonna be XY caught. He has no buyback, so it's now going to be Faceless left in a 4 versus 5 to jump in.
What
a 3-man stun. Jab's gonna start laying in, and as soon as humanly possible, he wants to be able to rack up this intelligence and start bursting down some heroes, but he just doesn't have it. He instantly goes down. The Song of Siren used beautifully by No Tail now set it up. Not just the kill on the OG who had that BKB out, as well as the follow-up on the Nyx Assassin. They take the 5th member of Faceless out and force the GG. Game 1, a stomp by Faceless. Game 2, OG stomp right back.
And it looked like the game could continue there, but again, takes is just one little hook in the right time to grab the one guy that doesn't have buyback, and the team fight just seems straightforward. And if things ever got bad, pop the song. Instead, they use